Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Brady with AvidMax, and today we're going to show you how to tie the Barr's emerger. So to tie this fly, we're going to use a few materials here. To start off with our thread, we're going to use the 14-aught gray from Vivis. This is the B05 color code. The hook we're putting this on is the TMC 2487, nice scud hook. And then we're going to use a couple different superfine dubbings, dry fly dubbings on this fly, even though it is an emerging fly. We're going to use the olive for the body of the fly, and then the Adams gray for the thorax. The tail of this fly is going to be utilizing the Keo hackle fibers from a brown cape, and then we're going to put a little bit of mallard flank as our wing buds for the pattern. Okay, so we have our hook and our vise, the good old 2487 go-to scud hook for us here with a down eye on it. I'm just going to start my thread, this gray thread here, and lock it on. And then we're going to come right on in and we're going to tie in our tail. So the tail is going to be that Keo hackle fibers. This is the brown, and you can see I got them just kind of pulled off of the stem here. The barbel's facing all out 90 degrees, and I'm just going to pull off a dozen or so fibers. Try and keep them aligned, even though I am going to trim them. I still like to kind of keep them in line because it gives you that same diameter of material when you go to tie it in. But we don't have to worry about how long it's going to be because we're just going to clip it off there. Makes things nice and easy tying this fly. But we'll wrap that down, lock it in here. This is a go-to pattern for sure if you got a lot of Baetis activity going on and hatching, and maybe they're not quite off the top, but the fish are rising to them still. They may be eating these emergers coming up from the bottom. So I'm going to measure right about the length of the shank there and clip our tails flush. And then we're going to start to dub the abdomen of our body here. The abdomen of our body, I'm going to use this olive superfine dubbing. You could use the BWO. We are doing a BWO style emerger here. It's a little bit darker than this standard olive, but I always find that when I use my waxes, my dubbing waxes, that it tends to darken my material just slightly. So I'm using just the regular olive on this one this time around. But you can tie it in variations with grays and greens and browns and different things like that. So it's a wonderfully imitative pattern that can be tied in various color combinations. So we're just gonna work out a nice taper on this fly here, so that you can see that. Up to the front, right, just where our abdomen is gonna finish off here. So a little past halfway on the hook shank there. There we are. And then we're going to come in and we're going to add our wing bud material. So John Barr originally did this with the wood duck, but if you have a hard time finding the wood duck, you can also use this mallard flank. It's a good substitute here for the wood duck. And then the same process that we did with the hackle, we're just going to pull these off of the stem here, maybe 8 to 10 fibers. And then we're going to come in and tie them down. And if you're going to do a flashback version of it, you could tie that tinsel in just before this wing bud, wing casing material here. I'm going to leave it kind of a duller variation here, more traditional. And we'll wrap that down, and then we're going to come in here and add our gray dubbing. So this is just the standard gray superfine that we mentioned as the thorax of the bug here. I think I got too much. Let's get some of that out of here. Well, and I cut my thread by accident, so we're going to fix that. So I'm just going to take off a little bit of what I had wrapped down there. I'll hold my thread down and place new locking wraps in here. Trying to remove that dubbing, and I clipped my thread by accident. Does happen. So we can lock it around here, and we are back to where we were. There we go. So now we can start again with our dubbing. noodle. And we're not going to get carried away this time. With how much dubbing we're going to use. There we go, that should be just about right. And so we're going to cover up underneath as well as on top here. And secure that down. Get a little bit thinner up at the front so I'm not crowding my hook eye when I get to there. And then we're going to pull this material forward, the mallard flank forward over the top of that dubbing, and kind of flatten it out here. Try to show you. Just use my fingertip to flatten it out right on top. And then you can secure it down. Just like so, a couple wraps on top, and then we're going to do a couple in front before we come back up on it and kind of separate that out. So we're going to use the same material. I'm going to split it on either side here. Try to get even fibers going both ways. Let's see. Alright, something like that. We're going to pull this one over to the side, wrap it down over here, and do the same thing on the far side. Just like so. We'll give it a quick whip finish here. And you can see I'm holding it tight because I don't want it to slip over the hook eye. I could reposition my hook too, but pretty close to the finish here, so we'll just whip finish that off. And clip out our excess there. And then we're going to trim our wing buds short here. So you can pull them back just slightly longer than your wing casing there. Like so. Try and keep them even. And there we are. There's your Barr's BWO emerger. Great fly to have in your box at all times. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. If you have a fly you'd like to see us tie in the future, leave us a comment below. For more fly fishing and outdoor related videos, subscribe to the AvidMax YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.
My heart over my mind.